皆さんこんにちは。I'm Haruka who is making your Japanese learning easy. I hear a lot of students always use demo, but we have more ways to say but. In this video, you're going to learn how to say but in several ways. The reason why we don't use it often is that demo is always at the beginning of the sentence. The translation for demo is but with a capital B, like saying but. Also, demo is rather casual than formal. Because of that, demo is kind of strong adversative conjunction if you use it in daily conversation too often. We better not to use it all the time. In this video, I will help you to expand your vocabulary and go to the next step so that you don't need to repeat the same thing over and over again, and you sound natural. Before we jump into other ways to say but in Japanese, let's take a look at how to use demo since a lot of students think demo is but with a lowercase letter. As I mentioned earlier, demo is but with a capital B. Let's say you want to say, I bought new clothes but I don't wear them at all. If you use demo, since demo is always at the beginning of the sentence will be 新しい服を買いました。でも、全然着ていません。As you can see, the sentence is separated into two. The exact translation of the sentence with demo in English will be actually like, I bought new clothes, period. But I don't wear them at all. But with a capital B. Alright, let's dive in. しかし I can say that しかし is a formal version of demo from a grammatical perspective. So it is rather however than but. The use is exactly same as demo, so it goes at the beginning of the sentence. The sentence earlier with しかし will be 新しい服を買いました。しかし全然着ていません。They are two separated sentences. しかし is too formal for daily conversation. You won't use it in conversation unless you work in Japan. You can remember しかし as however with a capital H. Speaking of however, the Japanese song However by Gray is one of the legends. And that's where I learned the word however in English back in high school. They don't say しかし in the song, but it's worth listening to. Google it, you'll like it. が is formal, so this is an equivalent to however. However, with lowercase h. The earlier sentence with が will be like 新しい服を買いましたが、全然着ていません。Since が is a lowercase however, the exact translation will be I bought new clothes, however, I don't wear them at all. One sentence with two clauses. I like to make sure one thing that が is with first clause, not the second clause. This is the difference between English and Japanese. With keeping that in your mind, let's move on to the next. けど、だけど. This is the one I want you to learn from this video. I can say that けど and だけど are rather casual than formal. And it is a casual version of が from a perspective of grammar. But I don't really want to say けど and だけど are casual because the formality of the sentence is up to the ending of the sentence. I'll explain it later. So why do we have two cases? What is the difference between けど and だけど? We use けど with verbs and adjectives. And we use だけど with nouns and adjectives. That's it. Sounds simple, right? But applying them in the sentence is hard. Let's practice with some examples. Since けど is used with verbs and adjectives, we can use it in a sentence earlier. As ました is a termination of the verbs. So, 買いました is a verb. You can detect parts of the speech like this when you encounter new phrase or new vocabulary. If you are not familiar with what I am talking about right now, watch this video first, and I highly recommend to watch this video as well because they are very basic of the Japanese language. Watch them first and come back to this video so that you can easily understand what I am talking about right now and also what people are saying. Alright, let's continue. If we apply けど in a sentence earlier, that will be 新しい服を買いましたけど全然着ていません。In this sentence, we simply changed が to けど since けど is a casual version of が。けど also belongs to the first clause. Compared to the sentence with が, we've succeeded a bit casual down, but still too formal to a conversation with someone close to you. Or casual form will be 新しい服を買ったけど全然着ていない。Other examples with other verbs. よく運転をしますけど下手です。よく運転をするけど下手。かっこいいですけど私の好みじゃありません。かっこいい is adjective, which means handsome, good looking for men, or cool beauty for women, and cool for men related things like cars, motorbikes, etc. This is a helping verb, so it is used with けど. Now let's take a look at the example with the adjectives. We did the formal form of adjective sentence in the verb section because the formal sentence of adjective has to end with です, which is a helping verb. We are only missing casual form for adjective. かっこいいけど私の好みじゃない。美味しかったけど作るのが難しかった。Next, だけど We use だけど with nouns and adjectives. Let's practice with the sentences. ハロウィンだけど仮装しません。Halloween is an event name, so it goes with だけど。ハロウィンだけど仮装しない。Or counters in Japanese are considered as a noun. If you watch my channel, you may already know a lot of counters already. Let's take a look at examples. もう2時だけどまだお昼ご飯を食べていません。もう2時だけどまだお昼ご飯を食べていない。100歳だけど走れます。100歳だけど走れる。An example with adjectives. ラーメンは好きだけど今日は食べたくありません。ラーメンは好きだけど今日は食べたくない。日本語の勉強は大変だけど楽しいです。日本語の勉強は大変だけど楽しい。These are examples to help you to understand the use of けど and だけど。In Japanese, writing form and conversational forms are quite different. Actually, I don't talk like this when I talk in Japanese because these sentences sound like a textbook. If you are writing diaries or reports, you can use those forms. And be careful with the casual form. If you talk to Japanese people with those casual form, it sounds too direct. If what you are talking about is something positive, that will be less problem. But if that's something negative, that will be too straight. The casual ways to talk for English speakers and for Japanese speakers are quite different. Actually, when I talk in English and in Japanese, my personality changes. I'll be more direct when I talk in English compared to when I talk in Japanese. Of course, even though those sentences out there sound like a textbook, they are important to know. If you don't understand these, you can't understand what's next. From here, I will teach you what I will say in real conversation. Earlier, we saw the sentence 新しい服を買いましたけど全然着ていません as a formal form. I may talk like this during the interview with the company if the situation is really formal. If it's not on your duty and no more chatting with someone older than you, in strangers who seems nice, you can say the same thing as 新しい服を買ったんですけど、全然着ていません。In this sentence, the verb in the first clause is a short form. And in this case, it's in the past tense since it is talking about something that already happened. And after that, there is んです。What is a short form? You may consider it as a casual form, but unless you use the verb in a casual form at the end of the sentence is not casual. Short forms are dictionary form, aka infinitive form, and casual present tense, and ta form, aka casual past tense. For example, 買う and 買った are short forms of the verb to buy. 買います and 買いました are ます form of it. I don't want to say casual form, as a lot of students get confused by the name. If you understand the use of けど and だけど, and if you still have energy to study, I want you to take notes of the use of んです as well. んです is very colloquial. We use this form especially before けど. When I worked in Japan, I used this form when I talk with my senpai. It's not too formal, but it's not too casual. So you can memorize like んですけど. Let's take a look at how to use them. 新しい服を買ったんですけど、全然着ていません。よく運転をするんですけど、下手です。かっこいいんですけど、私の好みじゃないです。美味しかったんですけど、作るのが難しかったです。When we use です with noun and adjective, we have to add な before です。that be なんです。Let's take a look at examples. ハロウィンなんですけど、仮装しません。もう2時なんですけど、まだお昼ご飯を食べていません。100歳なんですけど、走れます。ラーメンは好きなんですけど、今日は食べたくないです。日本語の勉強は大変なんですけど、楽しいです。The casual form of です is that. So simply you can change です to that like 新しい服を買ったんだけど、全然着ていないの。よく運転をするんだけど、下手なの。かっこいいんだけど、私の好みじゃないな。美味しかったんだけど、作るのが難しかったよ。ハロウィンなんだけど、仮装はしない。もう2時なんだけど、まだお昼ご飯を食べていないよ。100歳なんだけど、走れるよ。ラーメンは好きなんだけど、今日は食べたくないな。日本語の勉強は大変なんだけど、楽しい。Warning! If we use those forms, we consider that your Japanese level is really high. So be prepared yourself that we are going to talk in Japanese like blah 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 blah. Another use. When we ask a stranger for help, we use verb short form plus んですが. Do you remember? が is formal form of けど and だけど. When we talk to stranger and especially when we ask for help, we better to be formal. Let's say you've arrived in Japan but you don't know how to get out of the airport. If you start the sentence with すみません something んですが people will help you. The sentence with んですが will be the reason why you have to say the second sentence. I found this is very Japanese way to talk. At the airport, if you say 東京に行きたいんですが we automatically understand you'd like to know how to get to Tokyo. Maybe 教えてください or something similar is implied in the second sentence. Or if you say 電車の切符を買いたいんですが to anyone on the street, they will tell you or take you to where you can buy the ticket. Or if you say the sentence in a ticket counter, this is a very natural way to start the conversation.